Let's get grafting.
Welcome to Voting on a Budget.
Last few vlogs then have all been talking and no real action. We've been having to plan stuff, organise stuff and buy stuff. But we now want to get back to it. We need to get this boat sorted. So you'll be pleased to know, just as much as I am, this one's less chatter and more work. First job's getting this tank out. What we've decided is we're going to put a water tank under the floorboards rather than at the front there. That then frees up a bit of space for a nice cupboard at the end of the bed. So, let's get cracking.
You will notice as this video progresses that we speed up some of the footage. We edited it like that so we could fit in as much action as possible without it becoming a long and boring video. It's all a balancing act to include details of what we are doing, yet making sure the videos don't end up sending people to sleep.
I never thought there were going to be insulation there. Let's stop play for a second. Better get the mask and what have you on. Where's Dawn when you need her? All masked up, ready to go.
Just over 6 months ago, neither of us have ever been in front of a camera. Never mind filming, editing and producing a regular vlog. So if you have any hints or tips as to any improvements that we can make, please pop your ideas and suggestions in the comments below. We can only make these videos better if we know what you want to see, and likewise what you don't want to see.
Got another brew out at Trusty Flask, because I think this is now going to fight me every step of the way. Because you've probably worked out Dawn's at work today, she's not with me, so I've got to do this single-handed. Next little jobs are, under there's the rubber hose that you fill it with, and round there's the breather hose to allow the tank to breathe. Both of them don't seem to want to be playing nice, so I think I'm going to have to get the saw and cut them off and then start wrestling with it. Wish me luck. That one didn't put up too much of a fight. I'm not so confident about this one though. It wasn't too bad. Let's see about moving it though. Well, that's released it from where it was jammed on that pipe. Seems over the years the tank's had some kind of impact there, and that's bowed it up at the top, so it's not letting it lift up and over the lip. Come on, let's work it out. Seems to have done. Let's have another go. Wind up. That looked promising. There we go then, tank virtually out. Now a quick measure up, see whether it's going to fit through that door. I'm not convinced. As predicted then, it won't quite fit through the door, and we're literally talking by about half an inch. So, angle grinder, gloves, goggles, earplugs, let's do it. And that's why we wear all the protection. Never had that happen before. If we just play that back then at a quarter of its normal speed, you can see what actually happens. As I'm cutting along the tank, the angle grinder blade actually splits into about 3 pieces. One piece dropping on the floor, one piece staying on the grinder, and one piece actually jams in the cut that I was making in the tank. Clearly, that could have been extremely dangerous. And like I said at the time, that's why we wear the gloves, the goggles and the ear defenders for such things like that. I must say, as I was actually fitting a couple of these blades, they didn't seem to quite hold in right. And maybe I should have trusted my instinct and not used them, because clearly there was something wrong. Fortunately, we got away with it this time, but rest assured, it does sharpen the senses and makes you think for the future. Safety first. Flip her over, do the other side. Even the tight Yorkshireman can't get that blade to last any longer. Good job I weren't marking out a football pitch, innit? Typical, always miss a bit. must say, all in, getting that out were a lot more of a faff than I expected it to be. Well, I probably not expected it to be, but hoped. But at least now, she's in 2 parts, and I can get her out the door. Now I've got the tank out and cut open, you can actually see inside just how bad a condition it was in. Obviously that's all rust. You would think being a galvanised tank it'd be lovely and clean, but there's all matter of residue in the bottom there and the rust. So it does make you think, if we're not bothered changing the tank, what would we have actually been drinking in the future? Now we've got to clear these few bits of wood out, give it a scrape down so we're back to solid metal, then get the good old aqua steel. If you remember, that's the product that converts steel into a nice solid substance. We'll leave that on for, well, it's probably going to be a couple of days because obviously the weather's quite cold at the minute, and although it does work in the cold, it doesn't work as quick. So it's getting that scraped down. The next few jobs though are, as you've probably seen, we did put sort of this little bit of flooring down just so that we got something to work off, but obviously it's not down properly, and that's the next job, or one of the next jobs, is to get this flooring down properly, start getting a bit of flooring in. We've got boarding to put on the side and the framework for the sides because we've got the plywood and the insulation on order ready to come, and really we are just wanting to get cracking with it because it's taking far too long. So we've got a bit of a plan there, but we'll let you into that little plan next time. Let's get scraping. I love scraping. Not as much as I love my brew though. That weren't too bad really, but then again we had kind of scraped as much as we could with the tank still there, so it was just these back bits. So we'll go and get sweeping brush, sweep loose bits off, and then we'll get the aqua steel. Bear with. We can now take these last couple of bits of gas pipe off as well, it's going to make that easier. Obviously I just cut them off before when we stripped the boat, but now we can actually get into it. As you can see, this is that water inlet that I had to cut off with the saw. So we can now get into these, hopefully fairly easily. Take them off, because obviously when we come to fit the new gas supply we can feed in straight into that. I think this smaller one was actually not being used before anyway. The pipe only got about halfway down the boat, so I'm assuming it feeds through that one, but obviously we'll be checking all that out when we come to fit the new gas system. Swept up and cleaned up, took them couple of gas pipes off, ready for the aqua steel. This you can fairly much just slap on and then leave it to do its work. So we'll get cracking with that. Just while I'm doing this, I will say, obviously we've loads of plans to crack on and get this boat done. Really, within the next few weeks we want to see some massive improvements, you know, we want sides up and things like that, and panelling, getting the insulation in, and then we can really crack on with the good stuff. Building kitchens, building beds and all that lot. This first bit's all the background, if you like, and it's for you watching and for me doing it, it's probably not the most exciting bit, but it shows me doing it and you watching it exactly what is involved. It's not all picking out fancy curtains, not that I'll be picking out fancy curtains. As I say, we have got plans to speed up the process considerably, and touch wood, by the next video we can reveal more about that. So the water tank idea was primarily to give us more space, because obviously the water tank's going to end up sort of under here. But as you've seen, as we've opened that one up, with the rust and things in there, it's a good job we were changing it in the end, because I don't fancy drinking rusty water. So if you've got an old galvanised tank in your boat, I'd have thoughts about swapping it, or at least having a good look. Another thing we did do today was out under the back deck, just by the engine, there's a generator, a diesel generator that's like plumbed into the diesel tank. And up until now I've not even looked at it. But I thought I'd have a look at getting it going. It's hooked up to a battery, tried starting it, and it kind of feels like it wants to go, but there's no fuel getting to it. So fiddling about with the what seems to be the very basic fuel pump and things like that, and there's just something, but I'm going to be having a look into that, because having the diesel generator on board will be an asset. So it's got to be worth getting going. I think you can leave me to it now, because I'm going to end up with my head stuck in there and my bum stuck out to the camera. I don't think you want to see that, do you? So I'm going to crack on and get this done, and then obviously I can get a coat with a blacking on it as well. So all being well, you've liked this video, because again it's maybe not been the most exciting thing taking a tank out, although watching me wrestling with it were probably quite good fun. But we are now back to doing the serious work. We've done the planning, we've done the organising, we've done the buying. Still more buying to go, but we've done most of it. So, hopefully you've liked the video. If you have, give us a thumbs up. If however you're going to give me a thumbs down, let me know why. If I'm doing something wrong, tell me why you're giving me a thumbs down. Comment on the video any things that you think I could be doing or should be doing, or any ideas you've got. And likewise, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. That way you'll get notifications each time we put a video on. And hopefully on the next video Dawn will be back with me as well, because like I said, she's at work today. And other than that, I think we'll leave it to it. So thanks for watching. See you all soon. Goodbye.